Hey everyone, welcome. I am Laura DeFranco, the CEO of Brave Healer Productions. Welcome to Monday Morning Breakthroughs. This is a special event that I hold twice a month, and every time we meet, we have an incredible guest speaker talking about a pretty amazing topic. So today, welcome Dr. Ahriana Platten. She is an international speaker, author, and courage builder. She helps people find their purpose and live into it. She's a master ceremonialist and practical mystic, widely appreciated for her authenticity, professional insights, and coaching on the process of change. And you guys are going to find her at asoulfulworld.com. We've got her hooked up down below in the show notes when you're watching this video. And I'm going to give her just a special shout out as well before she heads into her breakthrough for us today. Ahriana, thank you so much for being in my world and for being the kind and loving presence that you are always with me and everyone I see you interact with. Every time I'm with you, I feel my heart soften just a little bit. And I love being with you. I love your energy, and I'm super honored and grateful that you're here to talk to everybody about this cool topic that I'm going to let you introduce. So, Ahriana, you have 20 minutes to give us a breakthrough, girl.
Thank you so much. It is such a pleasure to be here this morning and to see all your faces and connect with you. And I just want to take a minute and invite you, even though we've got certain screens up and all of that, to think about the fact that this is an energy medium that we're in, and that we kind of know that energy underlies all of the manifestation in life, that everything science has told us, it's not even woo-woo. Science has told us that if we look low enough, if we magnify down, we eventually come to a field of energy. And everything emerges from that energy. So sometimes we have a feeling that doing these things online kind of is separate and we're at a distance. And isn't it wonderful we can come in from all over the world? And all of that is true. But what is also true is that through the field of the universe, we are as close as if we were in the same space. We are still operating in one field of energy. We are still one heart, one mind, one uniformity operating. And so I want you to recognize that these people who have made time to be here this morning, all of us have been called together in a purposeful way, in a meaningful way, and in an energetic way. And we're going to take advantage of that energy this morning to bring ourselves to a certain place of being, to the place of being that Laura calls breakthrough. So I want to clear any ideas about expectation, because breakthrough is this very interesting experience where we get an aha, we get a hit on something, and then we have time to live into that and see what it means for us. What is that telling me? How do I become better informed, live more on purpose, in the purpose of the whole that I'm gathered with? So I want to set for you an understanding that not only are we finding your breakthrough, but we're finding a breakthrough that is here for all of us together, that by finding our breakthrough, we together will move a particular energy in the field of oneness. And there's a lot happening in the world. So we are invited to be different people when all of this change is happening. We're going to do an open-eyed meditation this morning, and I'm going to give you some very basic information. And as you go through that information, something is going to hit you. Something is going to be, there's going to be a point where you say, this is mine. This belongs to me. This is my piece that I'm doing right now in the world. So I want to set that meditative space with your eyes closed. And then I'm going to bring you back to open-eyed participation, involvement, and attention. So if you will just kind of follow along for a moment, go ahead and close your eyes. And if you are driving, Glenn, I saw you were in the car, please don't close your eyes. You can do this with your eyes open. Go ahead and settle in and allow your chin to tip down towards your chest. What that does is allows your focus to move from your brain down into your heart space. And just allow yourself to feel the center of your body, to notice that centering space, that wholeness that is you, where you live in a form. You are not just a soul inhabiting the form, but an energy field as form moving through the world. And from this open-hearted space, you can open the gates of your heart to allow what is good and right for you to come through easily. This is a knowing that will come to you. You may see it, sense it, feel it, or simply just know that what you hear, as I give you some choices, that amongst these things that you hear will be something that is right and is important to you. So I invite you to give yourself permission. Behind your closed mic, just say, I am open to receive. I am open to receive. Allowing whatever needs to come in to come in. And then I want to invite you to just go ahead and take a nice deep breath and gently open your eyes, staying in the same relaxed state that you've been in, allowing yourself to receive. I'm going to share the screen. We're going to look at a black and white piece of paper, very, very simple piece of paper. And
I'll give you that share 1 sec.
Perfect.
Okay, should be good to go.
Great. So we're going to look at archetypes. Without too much introduction, I just want to say to you that archetypes have been with us for a very long time. Probably many of you already have some experience looking at archetypes, working with archetypes. And I want to explain to you that we move through archetypes in our lives, that we have had archetypes with us since Plato's time. Carl Jung did a lot of expanding on Plato's work. There are all kinds of people who work with archetypes in different ways. But for our purpose today, we are looking for the current archetype that you are living, because we move through archetypes all through our life. And as we go through this list, there will be some that are familiar to you. And then there will be one that in your head and your heart says, yep, I think that's where I am right now. And when we get there, I want you to pay attention to what you're teaching, because you as a particular archetype have a purpose to teach right now. It's why you're living in that space. So we're going to go through these really easily. I'm going to give you only 3 statements so that you have the opportunity to simply feel into. Remember that you have dropped your chin into the feeling space. And even as you look forward, stay in the feeling. And if at any point you feel like you've gotten too heady about it, go ahead and put your hand on your chest, drop your chin, and bring yourself back into the heart space. This is a heart knowing, not a head knowing. So the very first archetype we're going to talk about is the innocent. And the innocent is the child. The innocent is the person who says, life isn't difficult. It's easy. This is so easy. All we have to do is just trust and have fun. It's a very playful position. It's very different to say this is fun and I'm optimistic about life. I know that the good is coming to me. It's very different as the innocent in your adult form. It's a choice. If you are living the innocent, you are choosing actively every day to make life easier, more playful, and more fun. Another archetype for your heart to consider is the orphan. The orphan is a powerful archetype, an archetype that brings us to a place of knowing ourselves very well. The archetype is the orphan is someone who says, I don't belong anywhere. I don't have a place I have to be, and I don't belong to anybody. I don't belong anywhere. Orphan archetypes move through life a little bit more cautiously, sometimes with a little skepticism about life. We could call it pessimism, but skepticism is a good word. There are people who have who really think for themselves, who really rely on themselves. And they teach us about empathy, and they teach us about reality, and they teach us about social awareness. They teach us to see what is happening around ourselves and how we can participate. Another archetype for your heart's consideration is the hero, and we all want to be the hero sometime. We all want to be the hero in somebody's life. The hero says, I have a mission. I am here because I have a mission to fulfill, and I am here for you. I am here. I'm going to do this for you. It's more than just being seen. It's much more about being in service for someone else, speaking for someone else, standing up for someone else. The hero teaches us to set goals and achieve them, teaches us to overcome barriers and to persevere. If you are a hero, you have an important role in the world to teach people to persevere despite what might be going on around them. You may also be living into the caregiver. A lot of women do this at some point in their life. We can get stuck here. Men can get stuck here too, especially when it comes to fathering. They can get stuck. This is the caregiver. And the caregiver will say, please be compassionate, be caring, pay attention. Different than the advocate who will speak up and say, do you see that person over there? Go over there with them. The caregiver will say, I am here for you. How can I support you right now? They enjoy serving. You need something to drink. It's the person who will say, do you need a glass of water? I'm going to the kitchen. Do you need something? Let me get it for you. This person teaches compassion and kindness. Kindness is really needed in the world today. If you are a caregiver, our society puts a lot of yuck on the caregiver name. Oh gosh, we're caregiving forever. But when you are a caregiver, you're the person who's always going to be posting the meme about the importance of kindness in the world. You're going to be the person that knows that if we're all a little softer, a little more caring, a little kinder, the world is going to change dramatically. And that's an important role to play in our world today. Another archetype that might ring true for you is the explorer. Now, the explorer is an advancement of the innocent. The innocent is playful and has really no direction. It's very spontaneous. The innocent becomes the explorer when that search for fun and excitement and adventure begins to have purpose, begins to move out in the world. Life becomes about the adventure. And that's how you know if you're an explorer. It's all about the adventure. What can I do that's new? The explorer is not a committer. You'll have a hard time joining groups, committing for longer than a short period of time because, life changes and you have something new to do and there's new stuff to go and explore. This person who is the explorer is so powerful in our world because they teach us how to change. They also teach us how to deal with loneliness and solitude, because when you're changing all the time, you don't necessarily take your community with you. So to be an explorer, you by nature are usually a person who really enjoys your solitude and can teach the world how to have that time of silence, that time of quiet, that time alone. You may also express, check your heart and see how it feels, with the rebel personality, the rebel archetype. The rebel says, I'm going to do it my way. I know everybody else thinks there's a way to do it, but I know how I need to do it. And I'm going to do it my way. They are charming and persuasive, and you want to be along on their ride because it's interesting, because they're not doing what everybody else does. And if you are that person, you have a way of getting people to jump on board with you, because what you have to give, nobody else can give, and it's really, really clear. This person teaches destruction and recreation. If you are a rebel, in order to rebel, you have to be willing to break down the way things are done. So a rebel will break down something to do it a different way. And the power of destruction is so valuable in our world today. There are many systems that need to be broken down, many ways of being that need to be broken down. If you are the rebel personality, you have powerful work to do in our world today. Maybe you are the lover. Maybe what you really care about is creating harmony. How can we come together and be one soul, be one energy, be one moving force in the world? The lover is deeply authentic, deeply embodied, very deep. You'll know when you meet the lover because they seem like a bottomless well of love. There's just not an end to the love that they're bringing forth on a universal level. And that person will teach intimacy. You will feel when you are interacting with them like they know you on a level nobody else ever has or ever could. And if you are that person, again, your role in life right now is to bring us back to who we really are, that we are universal love flowing. So your ability to be really clear about the love that you are, the way you express love, and the importance of intimacy is much needed in the world today. You could be a creator. A creator, again, is the person who knows about destruction, because to create, we have to take apart and create something new. But they mostly are the DIY people. Like if you're a creator, you don't want to go out and buy a new set of shelves. You want to build them, or you don't want to go and buy art. You want to create it. You don't want to buy a pre-made pumpkin for Halloween. You want to carve it, and it's going to be amazing, because the energy that's coming through you is universal energy of creation, and you have to do something with it. Your whole being desires to create. And that innovative way of thinking about life changes everything about what's possible for the entirety of humanity. Your ability to think into potential and possibility and beauty and meaning is much needed in the world. You might be the jester. The jester is the wisest of all the archetypes, because you can't joke with someone unless you know what the truth is. The most funny comedians we know are the ones that laugh about the things that we know are true about us, right? You might be that person who everybody goes, oh, you're so funny. But the funny person in the room is the person who really gets it, who really gets that we need to laugh at ourselves so that we can change ourselves, so we can just make lighter what it means to be human. And they're powerful, powerful people in our world, because they use comedy to modify perception, to take something that we're in harsh judgment about and give us a lighter view so that we can stop being judgmental and start being discerning and start making good choices for ourselves. So if you are the funny person in the room, you have a really important job in the world to help modify our perception about ourselves, which can be the one thing that really holds us back no matter what role we're in. The sage, we think of the sage oftentimes as the person who's aged into their wisdom, but I know many people who are young in their sage years. Sage is an ability to come up with a new way, an idea, a new possibility that incorporates all of the people that are involved rather than one person. The difference between someone who can just come up with a new idea, like the rebel, who will have all kinds of ideas. The difference between the rebel and the sage is that the sage will listen first. The sage wants to know what everybody's thinking and what's important to them, so that what they bring forth in wisdom incorporates everyone who's involved. And in a world that needs unification and needs us to collaborate and work together, the sage listener will bring forth the wisdom of community, powerful and important role. You may also check in on your heart, see if this feels to you. You may also be the magician. What is so unique about the magician is the magician will say nothing. While every other role has a statement, the magician will work in silence. The magician is creating and moving and transcending us, and they will say nothing, but they will be something powerful. They're the person in the room who always seems to get it. The magician is looking at the giant picture and shifting their own perception in a way that moves the entire universe. Because in the divine mind, in the field of wholeness, in the energetic field that we are, this person has a powerful mind and creates a touchstone for us of what it looks like to be what is needed in the moment. And this person has the ability to show up over and over as what is needed in the moment. You'll be amazed at who this person is each time you come in. So much so that you'll wonder, gosh, that person just always shows up there. It's always what's needed. And it's not an illusion. They are actually transcending the harmony of the group to see what is not present and to bring it in to harmonize and balance an entire effort. So if you are the person who is often quiet in a room, pay attention. You may be actually bringing in the energy of something that no one else can bring in because they're not holding the silent space that allows for deep enough observation. And finally, we all know someone who embodies the ruler. And we get to use power our own way. We get to use power in a positive way, or we get to use power in a negative way. We can have power over, or we can have power within. The struggle in ruler is figuring out which is needed, because sometimes power over is necessary. Sometimes we have to be the strong and commanding voice that says, everybody back together, this is what we're doing. And that can be misused. Sometimes the most powerful leader is the one who is so centered in themselves that you can't help but follow them, because clearly they know where they're going, and where they're going is appealing to you, and your skills are necessary as part of their team. No, they know what's best for the community. They teach us to take charge of our own life. We get to decide to follow or not. And that decision changes everything about what we do. So if you are a ruler, you have a direction to go, and you are an open invitation for people. You're not a command most of the time. Most of the time, you are an open invitation. Follow me. We're doing something over here. Come with me. I need your skill. A good ruler pulls together all the people they need. I'm doing something and I need your skill. And if you check in on your heart, and none of these have felt quite like where you are, then consider you might be in transition. The person in transition will say, I just don't really know where I am right now. I don't really know what direction I'm going in. I am in the middle of changing. And that person has a role to play too, because what is needed in our world in such a big way is the ability to live in uncertainty, to hold open the door of uncertainty so that we as a civilization can change. And if you are in that transition role, learning to be comfortable in uncertainty provides into mass consciousness an ability for other people to touch into their own uncertainty. And then from the place of uncertainty and what sometimes feels like chaos, order and established potential will begin to manifest into something new. So each of these roles has the potential to change the world. And who you are, understanding this archetype helps you to know what you're doing in the world, what your purpose is beyond your everyday work. So let's roll back through them really quickly from the top. Perhaps you're the innocent. Perhaps you're the orphan. Maybe you're the hero. Check your heart. Perhaps you are the caregiver or the explorer. or the rebel? Check your heart. Maybe your job is lover or creator or jester. Maybe you have a great sense of humor. Or maybe you're the sage, the magician, or the ruler. And if none of those sing to you, then perhaps where you are right now in your life is in the position of transition, holding uncertainty for the world. Close your eyes again for a moment. Place your hand on your chest. Notice if you have one word or two. Perhaps you're carrying more than one role right now. Ask yourself, what is the archetype that you are most strongly living into? And allow that word to stay present in your mind. Allow its purpose to be clear. And allow yourself to be guided by the amazing and powerful and potent role that you are playing in the world to make the world a better place right now. When you're ready, take a deep breath in. Release, staying fully in your heart. Come back into this space fully and completely with your eyes open. Thank you.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Ooh, I loved learning about all of the archetypes. For those of you in the event today, we're going to have a chance to ask Ahriana questions in just a minute. But Ahriana, just a big thank you for being here. And how can people get a hold of you? What do you have going on? Give us a real quick, brief look into that. And then of course, you guys, we're going to hook Ahriana up in the show notes with the links and all the places you guys can go explore.
So first, I want to say to you, if you would like that list I just used, I wish I had said that before since you didn't have to take copious notes, but I will send that list to you. Go to www.askahriana.com and just send me a note and say, please send me the archetypes list, and I will email it to you. I know that Lisa will put that link in the box for us. I do lots and lots of things. I run a community called The Soulful World. I do a Wednesday night wisdom circle called Sacred Space, where we talk about whatever is going on in the world and the wisdom that we need to move through. It's a 30-minute session, 20 minutes of presentation, 10 minutes of guided meditation at 6 o'clock Mountain Time every Wednesday. You can find out about that on my website. I teach a business mastermind once a month, specifically for spiritual entrepreneurs, because being in our business is very different than any other business. And you are welcome to join that circle. You can find out about that on my website. And I certify master ceremonialists. I teach people, and we have this really interesting way of thinking that as holistic healers and people who are moving energy, that we need to be like psychologists instead of being like medicine men and women. And I teach them medicine. I teach you how to create ceremony and accomplish radical change for people. And we'll certify you if you complete the program. So all of that stuff you can find out about. I am director of Transformation School, which is something relatively new and so exciting. And you can find out all about that from me as well. And just put any of that in Ask Ahriana, and I will send you information about any of those things you'd like to know about. Laura, thank you. Thank you for letting me have this time.
Thank you. Thanks for mentioning all of those amazing things. You're going to find links down below in the show notes. And as Ahriana said, if you hadn't heard, she is the new director of the Brave Healer Transformation School. That's where you can teach a course and sell your courses online on our platform. And we're going to give you the link down below for that as well to just read a little bit more about it. So lastly today, y'all, Brave Healer Productions is here to help you share your brave words with the world in a bigger way. and break through to that next level of life and business. So check the show notes and tune in for our next Monday morning breakthroughs. We're going to have Tina Green talking about the life-changing power of self-love. I can't wait for that. And until then, remember, your words change the world when you're brave enough to share them. So it is time to be brave. See you next time, everyone.